Alright guys, what's going on? We are back with episode number 2 of the Evo build, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually headed to Providence from North Stonington to pick up a set of tires for the car. They are used, but I found them for really cheap on the Facebook Marketplace. It's actually the first time I've actually gone somewhere to pick something up off of Facebook Marketplace. So I guess we'll see how this whole thing goes. Hopefully I don't get stabbed or shot, and if I do, you guys will. So these right here are the tires. They're Ventus V12 Evo 2s, and yeah. Hopefully everything goes well. The guy that's on here, he seems like a pretty normal guy. So hopefully everything goes well. Let's get on our way. So we are just now pulling up to the street of where these tires are located. I obviously can't tell you the address. That would be incredibly rude. But yeah, we're almost there, and it's been a pretty nasty ride. It's raining out and stuff. It's kind of gross. Good day to go pick up car parts though, so let's hope I don't get shot in 2 minutes. We are back at the shop. Buying the tires went really well. Kevin ended up being a really nice guy. I didn't end up filming him at all because he had his son with him, and his son was like 8 years old. I didn't really want him on camera. So we got the tires. They're over here. They look nice. Here they are. So pretty excited that we have tires for this thing now. That's pretty much where we are at for today. The only other thing I'm gonna do today in the shop, it's Friday, so I gotta get out of here pretty quick. I don't have a ton of time to spend here, is I want to wet sand our primered U-bar up front here. So before I put the actual color on this, I wanna blend the spots where there's a hard line between the primer and the original paint, or the paint that I painted last. So basically to try to explain to you guys exactly how I'm going to make this look okay, because really, if I was to do this properly, which I didn't, you would have all this stuff welded up and fabricated first before I painted the engine bay, but I painted the engine bay, did all the engine work while there was nothing up here. This was literally just gone, which made it unbelievably easy. And then I had this done, which means I had to paint all that, then I have to paint this, which is not the correct way to do it, but it's the way that we ended up doing it over the course of like 4 years. But so to try to hide that, see if I can explain this to you guys here. So you can see on this side, I already started wet sanding a little bit. You can see where it's a little bit dull right here. I was using 800 grit sandpaper, wet or dry, and just wet sanding this to make it nice and sticky for that paint to stick to. But basically what I'm gonna do here is I stopped my primer line there. I'm gonna bring my color line probably another inch back, so I'll tape like right here-ish. And then all from here forward will be color. And then when I do the clear, I'll move that back again, and I'll do wet sanding between each stage to try to blend this as best I possibly can. It's still not gonna come out perfect, I know that, but these bars are hidden between the intercooler and the radiator, and you really can't see them. It's just gonna drive me crazy if I paint it black or something. So I'm just gonna take my time and do the best job I can considering the circumstances. See, this one over here isn't done yet. You can see that nice hard line we still have between the midnight purple and the primer there. Isn't that a shame? Look how beautiful that is. So yeah, we're gonna finish wet sanding this. That way our color hopefully goes on and stays on real nice. You like my purple bucket, by the way? It's for the purple car. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'll throw this camera on a tripod and we'll get to it. So typically when you're wet sanding something, or at least in this circumstance, there's two purposes for it. Number one, we're trying to take down a little bit of the paint that we just painted on to make it completely flat. That way you can't really see any imperfections once there's really shiny clear coat on it. Because once you put regular color and clear on any kind of car, or anything really, it's gonna really show what's going on in that material. So goal number 1 is to take down any spots where the spray can may have left like a little boogers almost. When you spray paint something, as the paint's coming out, it kind of like spurts sometimes. Even when you shake the can really well and even in really good temperatures, it still happens sometimes. It's kind of unavoidable. So when you wet sand it, it gets rid of all of that and it makes it a nice uniform coat. The second reason for it is inside here, if you look carefully, I would have a hard line right there from where I did my primer. And because I'm doing this the wrong way, I kind of have to try to mask the imperfections in this paint. So what I'm doing here is I'm just blending the primer into the actual paint. That way you can't see this hard line when I lay my actual color in clear. And that's it really. It's a really simple thing to do. Normally, if you were doing this on a car, you would use a block so that you don't put the actual texture of your fingertips into the bodywork. So if you were doing like an actual panel of a car or something, you can get these hard foam tools. And basically you take 3M spray glue and you spray it on the back of your sandpaper and then on this surface right here, and you just lay the paper across it, and you can use that wet sanding to make nice, perfect, smooth surfaces that are ready for more paint. But in this case, because everything is kind of circular, I'm just using my hands and the sandpaper. Kind of a little bit ghetto, but whatever, I don't care. But for you, if you're gonna do this, do it the right way and go get these nice sanding blocks. We are all good. I just finished wet sanding here, and now if you check out all these areas, you can't feel it. Maybe you can see a little bit, but there is no more edge here that you can pick up by touch. And the spray paint now looks moderately shiny because I essentially just polished it with a 800 grit sandpaper. So yeah, that's basically what we're looking for. Nice smooth surface for our new paint to mate to, and also some cross hatches in it. That way the paint hopefully doesn't drip or do anything funny like that. It is kind of cold in here, so who knows really, but yeah. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked hanging out with me and working on the Evo, please subscribe to the channel. Maybe even throw me a like if you feel so kind. Maybe I'll see you guys next time. Maybe not. I hope so though. By the way, if anybody is looking for a Street Glide, this one's for sale. It's pretty cool too. Check this thing out. It's got the big wheel on it and all that cool stuff, air ride. So if you're into Harleys, I got one for you. Just, you know, comment on this video. But I doubt anybody that likes Harleys is watching this video, so wishful thinking. All right guys, see you next time.